Obamacare. Stay with us.
Say hello to the BravoJet mopping robot from iRobot. Its precision jet spray and vibrating cleaning head loosen and scrub stains, all while navigating kitchens, bathrooms, and those hard-to-reach places. You and BravoJet from iRobot. Better together.
Hey, come on, you to be my VP.
Come on, George.
Come on, Lone Ranger needs a Tonto.
Vice has more Golden Globe nominations than any movie this year.
This is going to be fun.
Including Christian Bale, Best Actor, Amy Adams, Best Supporting Actress, Sam Rockwell, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Picture of the Year.
I'll handle energy, military, foreign policy. I like that.
This isn't something that a vice president really does.
It is now.
Vice, rated R.
Only in Jamaica can you stay at one Sandals and play around at all 6 resorts. Sandals in Jamaica. It's 6 vacations in one. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Update your floors with Empire Today's $50 room sale. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for just $50 each. So when you buy one room, it's only $50 for laminate in the kitchen, $50 for carpet in the bedroom, and $50 for hardwood in the office. There's no limit. Buy one room and it's $50 for floors in each additional room. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. This holiday season, find great gifts for the musician in your life. Get a Casio digital piano, just $299.99. Or get a Harbinger Line Array PA system, just $499.99. Give the gift of music from Guitar Center.
I just got my Ancestry DNA results. 74% Italian. And I found out that I'm from the big toe of that sexy Italian root. So this holiday season, it's Ancestry DNA per tutti! Order your kit now at Ancestry.com.
I always felt that my comedy was just to make things be all right.
It's the story of my life.
Enter the world of Di Serrano. Di Serrano, the world's favorite Italian liqueur.
Your skin has different needs at night. That's why there's new Gold Bond Overnight Lotion. Works while you sleep, penetrating 10 layers deep as hyaluronic acid locks in moisture. Wake up to rejuvenated looking skin. New Gold Bond Overnight Lotion.
It's not the holidays until all your streams come true.
Play Home Alone.
Watch your holiday favorites however you want and find them faster with the X1 voice remote. Now that's simple, easy, awesome.
Enjoy the entertainment you've been streaming about with Xfinity. Access your streaming apps all in one place with the sound of your voice. Click, call, or visit a store today.
This is CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Watching CNN Newsroom, let's look at your headlines this hour. Legislation that brought health care to millions of Americans has been struck down by a U.S. judge. He ruled the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare, unconstitutional. Legal experts say the ruling won't immediately affect Americans' health coverage. An appeal is expected. U.S. President Donald Trump has chosen Mick Mulvaney to be his acting chief of staff. Mulvaney is currently the director of the Office of Management and Budget. He will keep that job as well. The current chief of staff, John Kelly, is leaving at the end of the year. Russia is criticizing the U.S. for putting a decades-old nuclear missile treaty in jeopardy after the U.S. threatened to withdraw. Moscow has introduced the UN draft resolution in support of the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. The U.S. says it will leave unless Russia complies with the deal. Moscow denies any violations of the treaty. And Britain's Labour Party is calling for a Brexit vote in Parliament before Christmas after Prime Minister Theresa May failed to gain concessions from the EU in Brussels. Downing Street says a vote could take place in January, but the EU is skeptical that her deal will be approved and are moving ahead with plans for a hard Brexit. I want to take a closer look at our top story this hour. A U.S. judge has struck down the Affordable Care Act. It was President Barack Obama's signature piece of legislation. It brought health care to millions. It also brought the wrath of conservatives who have been trying for years to dismantle it. Let's bring in Peter Matthews, political science professor at Cypress College. Donald Trump promised to repeal and replace Obamacare. Do you think a judge in Texas could be the one who ends up fulfilling at least the first part of that promise, repeal?
Well, the repeal, yes, but there'll be a Supreme Court hearing a little later on, and that'll be the final decision. I must say, Cyril, there's two different philosophies here. One is health care a human right that should be guaranteed for all, as one side believes. The other side believes that it's an individual privilege that you have to earn individually. So that's a whole different clash of opinions here on what the foundation of the health care issue is. Very important to note that.
Yeah, but so you're telling me about the politics of it, but it could end up decided as a legal matter. It already has been by the Supreme Court. Yes. And the legal argument in court, to your point, is actually totally different, really, from the politics of it and how you look at healthcare and whether it should be free market based or whether it should be a right for everyone. So it could end up just being a legal issue.
That's true, because the legal issue has to do with the individual mandate, which turns on the question of the tax cuts of 2017 that Trump brought in. And those tax cuts eliminated the penalty for not having health insurance. And the court decided that because of that, the individual mandate is no longer valid, and therefore it's not Congress cannot stand on that because that was a tax. Don't forget, twice before that, this Affordable Care Act was upheld, once by Chief Justice Roberts actually being the deciding vote, saying that the individual mandate is valid because it's a type of tax, and so it would be allowed, Congress could do it and could fund it. It was actually a technical issue, you're right on that. That's how they decided. But
now the tax is it's disappeared. It's been taken down to zero in the new tax law. And that was the basis for the legal argument of the Texas judge saying, well, if it's zero, then it's not a tax, and therefore it becomes illegal. That's his argument. I want to read for you the president's tweet. As I predicted all along, Obamacare has been struck down as an unconstitutional disaster. Now Congress must pass a strong law that provides great health care and protects pre-existing conditions. Mitch and Nancy, get it done. So here's my question. Is this a boon for the president? Is this what he's wanted all along? Or is it actually going to get him stuck in a rut because the law could fall, and if he doesn't have a replacement, then he's going to own that?
The latter. That's exactly what the way you put it is very well done. Is the president's going to be in big trouble if the entire law does continue to be struck down, because millions will be having to give up their health care. It'll create a disaster in the economics of the healthcare system. The president only wanted to strike down the portion of the what's called pre-existing condition guarantees. He wanted to keep the rest of the law, but he may just have the whole baby thrown out with the bathwater. That's a real problem for him.
But the counter argument is perhaps this Congress, counterintuitively, may be a better Congress to work with than the previous one, because the Democrats may want to keep some form of health law that they like, and the senators the Republican senators are more moderate than the Republican congressmen were before, so maybe they can agree with the Democratic plan.
It's very possible they come up with a compromise, and for sure the House is much more progressive on this now because they have 40 new members, 40-seat lead with Democratic lead, and it could happen in that case. They could get the Republicans in the Senate maybe to compromise. But I think what's going to happen, Cyril, is they have to decide.
By the way, potentially that would be, if that happens, that would be a huge political success, wouldn't it?
It would be a success, certainly, but the thing is, can they get it done, and could they go with an alternative system? There's a momentum now for a single-payer universal healthcare system, a public insurance company that I think a lot of Democrats are pushing in the House. Let's see if that can come into fruition. It may take a couple of years, though, because the Republicans do dominate the Senate, as you know.
And I see another danger on the horizon politically, which is, and we saw it already manifest itself in the midterms, Democrats used this issue, and they used it to good effect. They won lots of seats in the House, campaigning on healthcare. They could do that again in 2020.
That's right. Especially when the pre-existing condition part has been taken out, people will start feeling that. Millions will feel it. And if the whole system collapses, then it'll be a big issue that'll hurt the Republicans in the 2020 election overall. Because most Americans, by the way, 75% of Americans support guaranteeing pre-existing conditions coverage. That's a lot of people. Even 58% of the Republicans support it. So this is a losing side that the Obama administration, I mean the Trump administration's on, and so are the Republicans in the Senate on the wrong side, and in the House as well on this one.
Well, and Donald Trump appears to be one of those 75% because he wants Congress also to defend and guarantee pre-existing conditions. I'm just reading his tweet here. That's what he wants. That's his political objective. He's asking Congress to get it done. We'll see if it happens. Peter Matthews, thank you for joining us.
Let's see. Thank you so much.
Donald Trump changing his story about an alleged hush money scheme again. This after his former